and early. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, fine. Love getting out there, trying to put a score on the board and hopefully put pressure on them to chase a high score.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much and congratulations and all the best for tonight's game.
Cheers, thank you.
That will be Game 5. Looking forward to bringing you the top end series tonight, Game 5 between NT Strike and Nepal.
Competing, Nepal won the bat flip and have elected to bowl first. And you heard there Captain Rohit referencing the green. Beautiful night here in Darwin, some beautiful dry season breezes. You might be able to hear through the mic, but the temperatures today, low 30s, humidity not here yet. The wet season is still a month or so away. So perfect dry season conditions, not a cloud in the sky, lights not yet taking effect, but they will a little bit later on. So very much looking forward to tonight's game. Will, some really interesting players. The NT Strike lineup is just loaded.
Yeah, there's plenty of talent there. Look at the opening two, Darcy Short and Jake Weatherald, and don't discount the first drop, Jacob Dickman. He's one of the stars of the local competition up here, captain of the Darwin Eagles Cricket Club, and I think he's one of the biggest run scorers for the last couple of years. They've also got Jordan Silk coming in at number 5. He's a Tasmanian captain. He's also a key part of that Sydney Sixers outfit. Matt Hammond, another local boy, and Hamish Martin. He's the premiership captain for the Palmerston Cricket Club in the local competition as well. Looking at the gloves, it'll be Cadell McMahon behind the wickets. Tonight's wicketkeeper for NT Strike.
And the Nepalese team have got some really interesting players there. Captain debuted at 15, Rohit, quite extraordinary. He's played 72 one-day internationals, 67 T20 internationals. They actually have the second highest ranked, according to the ICC, second highest ranked all-rounder in T cricket, Hendricks Airy. So fascinating to see how he's going. Lots of how he's going to go tonight. Karan, Kushal have all played well over 50 ODIs and T20 internationals. So their experience is vast, and they should put up a really good challenge. Their first time at this tournament.
Yeah, it should be a really good game ahead. You think maybe with a little bit more knowledge of the local ground and the conditions, the NT Strike should be favourites for today's game, but that's all to come in tonight's game.
Are you looking to hit your studies for 6? Make the move to Australia.
हर एक निर्माण को मेरुदण्ड पंचकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT पंचकन्या स्टिल
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडी यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला। यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पंचकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT पंचकन्या स्टिल
होटल बुकिङ अब यी सेवाबाटै 2000 plus hotels all across Nepal. Hotels with the best pools. Relax, retreat, reservate. Hotels for everyone. Escape to a holiday without the hassle. अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ। जोशको, उत्साहको, मेहनतको। लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
हजुर दाइ, आकाशमा जाने हो कि पातालमा? कोरिया दाइ। काम पाए नि बा।
Making record is not that easy.
About the recent T20 national series between Australia and South Africa here played this week. A couple of games was the multicultural nature of Darwin society meant there were lots of people from the subcontinent, Nepalese, Indians, Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, and they created a fantastic atmosphere, and it looks like we'll get the same tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, a great part of this top-end series is you sort of get a big mix of different teams. You've obviously got the local team, which is front and centre tonight, NT Strike, with some Australian players, and you've also got a lot of locals. But then you've got the 5 Big Bash teams who are competing, and you've also got those 4 international teams, Bangladesh, Nepal, Pakistan, and the US Kingsmen.
And we're just waiting on a welcome to country for the players, which will be happening very shortly.
Hey, Russ. From Nepal, both here and watching on TV screens across the world. Traditionally, when people from other lands visit a national country, a welcome to country would be passage through our lands under the guidance and protection of our ancestors. It does not matter about race, colour or creed or religion. Larrakia people welcome everyone. Larrakia lands was never ceded, and this land we're on today always was and always will be Larrakia land, as it has been for the last 60,000 years. My name is James Parfitt Fijo, and I'm here with Willie Hewitt. We are both on Larrakia land, presenting you this welcome to country. Sachin Tendulkar once said, "Enjoy the game and chase your dreams, as dreams do come true." Cricket is a sport that brings everyone together. It breaks down barriers, and it is a sport that is open to everyone, everywhere. From the harshest conditions of the NT outback to the highest mountains in the whole entire world, I wish you all the best as you set out to achieve your goals, and welcome each and every one of you here today. To Nepal, thank you for coming to our home. And we really do appreciate you being here, and we really do hope you come back again. I'd like to finish with the words from my grandfather, the late and great Reverend Wally Fijo. You have come by way of Larrakia land. While you're here, you'll hear the voices of our ancestors. When you leave, you'll take the Larrakia message with you. Good luck to both of yous.
So formalities are over with the welcome to country being performed. The two teams will now gather. The Nepalese team, at least they're the fielding side. They won the toss. Their captain Rohit deciding that with a bit of a green tinge to the wicket, he'd like to have a bowl first. And he's putting in this pretty imposing Northern Territory strike batting lineup as the Nepal team come together for their final tactics. And an exciting time to see this team, which has done some pretty good things in world cricket, here in the Northern Territory.
Yeah, absolutely. They have. Look, you mentioned that they've decided to go for a bowl first. It's an interesting decision given in the two games that I've seen so far, which was the Melbourne Renegades versus Melbourne Stars, then last night Pakistan versus Bangladesh, as well as the two T20 internationals earlier in the week. The side that batted first won, and in those two international, or the first three games, I should say, quite convincingly so. The Melbourne derby held up here in Darwin was only 6 runs in the end, but you got a feeling that the Renegades were a much better side on the day. It'll be interesting to see if they can buck the trend tonight.
The opening pair for NT Strike, Darcy Short, who's the captain, Jake Weatherald, who's had quite an incredible run of form in the longer form of the game, but he's no slouch at T20 cricket either, but he was the leading run scorer in the Sheffield Shield, which is the Australian domestic 4-day competition in the season just gone, 24-25. And more recently, he played for Australia A here in Darwin on this ground against Sri Lanka A and made 183. So he is in magnificent touch. And I was watching a program today, Will, which included David Boone as one of the guests, and he was asked to pick his Australian 11 for the first Ashes test. And while he thought, let's stick with Sam Constas and Usman Khawaja, he had 3 players that maybe if Constas didn't get a run, and one of those 3 that he thought would be a chance is Jake Weatherall to open the batting for Australia in the test arena.
Yeah, there you go. So very talented batsman. That Australia A versus Sri Lanka A matches that you spoke of, they had some very high-scoring performances there. He was obviously one of them, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of Australians and Territorians hoping he can do the same, put on a bit of a show tonight.
Yeah, both the pitch. One of the 4-day games was played at Marara on a drop-in pitch, and this is the home of cricket here, DXC Arena. So this pitch is here all the time, but both those matches very high-scoring. Tough 8 days in the field for the bowlers and the fielders in those games. But this is the exciting nature of the game. It looks like Darcy Short will take strike to start for the NT Strike. And the opening bowler is Sompal Kami for Nepal. Right arm bowler. And we're almost underway in the first match of the series for these two sides. NT Strike, course, last season made the semi-finals before going down to Bangladesh. But the lineup they've brought together this year, you'd think they'll go a fair way in the tournament. Short, Weatherall, Jordan Silk, Tom Andrews, who's playing for the Sydney Thunder in the Big Bash League, and then Kane Richardson, who's played a lot of cricket in all formats for Australia. Sompal Kami is coming in from the northern end to get us underway. Match 5, and it's on the pads. And a good start if you're the Nepalese team.
Always nervous that first ball, Rob. They'd be happy to just get through this. I think both sides would be happy to get through the first over with not too many nerves, not too many blemishes, wickets or boundaries alike.
It's a bit of a sighter for Short. I think if it was a few balls later, that ball may well have been deposited well over the mid-wicket boundary as Kami comes in again. And that was down the leg side. It was called a no ball. Was there bat on it as well, or thigh pad? Despairing dive by the keeper. He made good ground. It was off the thigh pad, and it goes down to the boundary. So strike are off the mark through extras. Darcy Short, it didn't matter too much. They still got the boundary, but not able to capitalise on that ball down the leg side. Looks like there is a fieldsman at a short, fine leg there, just around the corner. One slip in place. So it's just one legitimate ball bowled. Strike already up to 5. And this is a good ball, striking Short. It wobbled around a bit off the seam, and maybe a slower ball too. He played it all over the top of it, And once again, around that leg stump region, perhaps a little straighter this time. And a good delivery.
Nice one to ease into it there. Just on his haunches for a few seconds there. Short, back up and ready to go at it again.
Lofted beautifully by Short. In fact, it's not that beautiful because it's very high. The fieldsman is under. He's dropped it. It was in the air for a long time. I thought he'd got every piece of that and it was headed over the mid-off boundary. In fact, he skied it and the fieldsman only had to walk back a couple of metres, had plenty of time to get under it and drop the catch. And that's a big let-off for Darcy Short and the NT strike. And Sompal, the bowler, won't be happy. And I'm just wondering if it was the captain, Rohit, that might have dropped that. I think it might have been. He's the fielder there at mid-off, just on the edge of the circle.
Looks like it was another no ball as well. Potentially that one there. It's another free hit.
So Short again. Slashes this one, over cover this time. Not sure he got all of it. It's going away to the boundary. It won't reach the boundary. There'll be a couple more. So this is with those no balls in the first over, the total is already mounting and double figures already after just 3 balls.
Yeah, today I think the scores were 190 to 184. So sort of hovering probably closer to that 9.5 run rate mark. Last night I had a massive score from the Pakistan Shaheens, 220 odd. As you said, already at 10 after just 3 balls tonight, Rob.
Kami needs to tighten up a little bit. Again down leg side, another wide. So yet another sundry to the total. And this is a real mixed bag, this first over. One good delivery, just nipping back and striking Short in the midriff. But the other deliveries, the captain wouldn't be too pleased. Still 3 balls to go in the over. It's already gone for about 4 or 5 minutes. And well taken single. Another one to Short's total. So we get to see Weatherald for the first time this evening.
Lively crowd coming in the gates early for tonight's game, Rob. Good build up after the working week. Great to have cricket here on a Friday evening under lights.
Here on the western side of the ground in front of the NT Cricket offices, Northern Territory Cricket offices, and the player pavilion. Got some food vans there, got some marquees. Just enjoying the cooler part of the day here in Darwin. It's an exquisite time of year. So Jake Weatherald, first ball, facing Kami. Coming from the northern end. Wide outside the off stump. Slash, overslip, and all the way down to the boundary. And that is the nature of T20 cricket. If the ball is wide, have a flash at it, it's going to have to be a pretty good catch to get you out. And there was no one in the slips that would have cleared their heads anyway, I think.
Yeah, expensive over so far for the Nepalese side. We've only 4 balls in and we've already had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 balls bowled, Rob. None for 13 so far. 1 boundary. A dropped catch. Complete mixed bag at this stage.
Still 2 balls remaining for Kami. That one's a better delivery. He tightened the batsman up Weatherald, but he was still able to work it backward of point and down to the fielder on the boundary. Just a single. Keep this up, they'll get nearly 400, Will.
Yeah, they'll work that run rate up very quickly.
That is some over. Dot, 5 no balls. Dot, 1 no ball. 2, 1 wide. 2 no balls. 4, 1.
Just readjusting the field.
Magnificent blue uniform of the Nepalese. Kami for his last ball. It's a slow one. Pitched up on leg stump. Worked into the onside, and a single to finish the over. Eventually, 19 after 1 over for the Northern Territory strike.
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT पञ्चकन्या स्टिल
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै।
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु।
The bat, a thunderous crack on that third delivery, ended up being a no ball. If not, could have been off for an early exit, but the way the score's looking at the moment, maybe he's set for a big night and a big series ahead.
Rupesh will be coming on now from the southern end, just in front of us in the commentary position, which is in the open air, but you don't care, do you, Will, in conditions like these? The beautiful breeze, rather than being cooped up in an enclosed commentary box. Rupesh is going through a couple of warm-up deliveries to the fielder next to him. Be Weatherall to take strike. No wicket for 19. Huge first over by the NT strike. It might be short. Is Darcy Short, in fact, on strike? On 6. Rupesh charges in. That's a good delivery. Swinging down the leg side. Strikes the pad, but would have been going down the leg. At least it's a dot ball, and at least it's not an extra.
Yeah, they'd want to try and tighten up on their bowling at the moment and just try and reduce the sundries. 8 in the first over is just not good enough. If they can restrict them and just keep tighter on their bowling, they'll be already keeping lower than that 18 they let slide through in that first over.
Good energy to the crease. Rupesh bustles in again and forces the false stroke. Short plays all around it, goes between bat and pad. This is a good comeback by the Nepalese in the second over. Short only had eyes for us, Will. That was coming down our throat if he'd laid contact on that. We're fielding it long on the safe side of the fence. And just dropping the fielder at long on back onto the rope. It's Bertel. 2 dots to start. Can Rupesh keep this up against one of the hardest hitting batsmen in world cricket, not just Australian cricket? And unfortunately he strays down the leg side, and after a promising beginning gives a run away with a wide. Crowd keeps coming in, doesn't it, Will? Even on the far side, the eastern side.
Yeah, plenty more, just slowly filling and filtering in over into the XC Arena.
Rupesh, another good delivery, just on middle and leg, forcing the defensive stroke from Short. So just the one blemish, really, was that very wild delivery down the leg side, but this has been a much better over.
If they're able to keep it tight in this, and you wonder if maybe the odd wide there provides a little bit of frustration. Short at the crease, he hasn't quite seemed super comfortable just yet. And they get an early wicket.
Rupesh once again strikes him on the pad. Sliding down the leg again, you would think they scurry through for a leg bye. And Short tosses his bat in frustration. So they haven't quite got going yet, the T20 strike batsman. Musical accompaniment, which is always great. What's Weatherall got? He's on 5 from 2. And he lofts beautifully off his hip. And will it clear the fence? It does. Straight over the pickets at square leg for 6. So Weatherall rich.
Here off a territory strike, of an NT strike bat, and great stroke there from Weatherall. As you mentioned, familiar with this ground at the moment. First 6 of the evening in the second boundary.
What's Rupesh got in response? And he's forced the false stroke. It was short. And lifting delivery into the gloves and hip of Weatherall. So a good finish, a good comeback. Just 7 off the over. And when you consider 6 of those came in one blow, I think he'd be pretty happy with that, considering the first over went for 19. So 2 overs down after winning the toss and electing to bowl. Nepal has the...
Energy 8. Energy भनेकै Red Bull. पिउने पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित
मलाई तिमी कस्तो आफ्नै
We'll have to catch up with the Nepalese management. Will, I'm really hoping that our pronunciations, we do apologise. We'll catch up. But so this is, I'm really fascinated by this as we wait for the first ball from Airy. The reverse sweep is high in the air and it's all the way down at our feet to the boundary for 4. Well played by Darcy Short. He goes into double figures and the total to 31. But Airy is the ICC's second-ranked T20 all-rounder in the world, which is pretty exciting. He once scored a 9-ball 50 a few years ago against Mongolia. 9 balls to make 50. And he's one of just a few players in T20 internationals to score 6 sixes. Every ball in an over went for a 6 in 1 over. So he's a very talented cricketer. He's bowling some off breaks at the moment. Comes around the wicket, quicker delivery and no run.
Quick in the field as well, looking by his movement there. Looking forward to seeing him with bat in hand, judging by those stats, but at the moment I'll happily settle for spin. Good start to this over.
Comes again to Short and it's on middle and leg and it's swept away down towards backward square. Beautiful shot, magnificently timed, vacant area. They might need to think about loading that spot up if the bowler is going to deliver it there. And another 4 to Short, he's up to 14. Experienced player, Airy. He's played 64 ODIs and 82 T20 internationals.
You mentioned he got one of those batting figures against Mongolia. That'd be an interesting cricket backdrop there. We've got a pretty interesting one here tonight, the beautiful tropics of the Darwin dry season, sun setting, and you mentioned there's plenty of crowd members just filtering in and sitting over that far side to capture the cricket and the sunset in one go. Airy coming in for ball number 4 of his first over.
A couple of boundaries off it, a little hop and a skip, and it's punched away just into the mid-wicket region. Easy single taken to Short, up to 15. Here in the midst of this magnificent sporting precinct here in Darwin, the Marara precinct. We've got a golf course, we've got the main oval where Australian rules football is played. We're on the cricket arena today. It's basketball, netball, shooting range, BMX riding, rugby league, tennis. It's an incredible precinct. Football, soccer as some might know it. This one is short on middle leg stump. No run allowed. It was too well timed off the bat, and even though the field was quite deep on the offside, the ball travelled too quickly. So a dot ball, the second of the over. So good comeback by Airy. What's he got for the last ball? Can he contain them? They're 36 in the third over. And once again, a good finish by Airy. Another quicker delivery on the leg stump. And the strike going at 12 and over after 3.
Squats over in this Marara precinct as well. Robin, you mentioned golf before. Will Sutherland, I think he might have almost got his sports confused earlier today. He hit a 6 right over the fence. It almost went for a hole-in-one over there. Alas, he...
Never lose. Either
Pretty good off his first, just 7 runs from it. When you consider one of those went for 6, not a bad effort. As he comes into bowl to Short, who makes a little bit of room and lofts him straight down the ground. Didn't time it all that well, and the fielder at long onto it now. Will need to scurry a little bit. Weatherall does just that. The throw was slightly astray, and the strike get 2.
Starting to look a little bit more comfortable. Short and Weatherall. A little bit nervous for Short at first. He took a while to get going and had a few sundries which maybe might have thrown a spanner in the works for him.
Short bat aloft. Rupesh wide outside the off stump. And that would have been lucky to reach a gully fieldsman if we had a traditional longer form field in place. That was incredibly wide. And only 1 run for it. So a little loose for a good first over. I'm sure he'll rebound. A discussion there with his fielder at mid-off. Fielders out at the moment, both on the leg side. There's a wideish long on and a deep backward square leg of the 2 fielders on the boundary. All the other fielders right on the circle. And now around the wicket. And lofted high, very high and long, onto the practice nets for another 6 to Darcy Short. He goes into the 20s.
Yeah, great strike there from Short. Starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. His first 6 of the evening. And the second for the NT strike side. Take a look at this crack. As you said, over into the cricket nets. And already NT strike closing in on their first half century as a squad. Almost 3.5 overs in.
Rupesh losing a bit of control, bowling a very wide delivery and then a very short ball which was dispatched. He's gone back over the wicket to Short. Tucks him up on the leg side off the thigh pad. He enters its way into the offside and they run through for a leg bye. So on target for a huge total early on.
Dropped it back from that 19 they scored in the, they conceded in the first over.
Weatherall now, short high, Fields running back to backward square leg, gets under it, takes it. Loose shot forced by Rupesh. He finally gets the right line. Weatherall getting under it, skying the ball, and an excellent catch in the end. We've seen one drop tonight, although that did turn out to be a no ball by the captain. But this time, a very tricky catch. He had to make 15 to 20 metres, running backwards almost. Short ball, maybe onto him a little quicker than he expected. He got it high on the bat. And an excellent catch by the fielder there. Might actually be Kami, I think, the bowler that went for 15 in the first over. So he's made amends to a degree, getting the important wicket of Weatherall.
Yeah, 11 for 6. He'd be disappointed with that, particularly given how well he was striking a few weeks ago for the Australia A side. He's got time to make amends. Each team playing 6 games in this top-end series, but he'd be disappointed with that total, as we said. It's been a little bit of an uncertain start for them. A lot of sundries, which
Good first up delivery for Rupesh, making Dickman play. Down the pitch to mid-on. So a very important wicket. It's the best way to stem the tide, stem the flow of runs in T20 cricket, take those wickets, bring a new batter to the crease. At least, even in shorter form of the game. You still need a couple of sighters. The last ball of Rupesh is over. Bowling to Dickman. Sets off stump and a big edge. And bounces in front of the fieldsman there at a wide slip. And no run. So 2 dots to finish the over. A wicket, then ... So excellent bowling by Rupesh. He's got 2 overs, 1 for 16. They just pegged the strike back a little bit after 4 overs, 1 for 46.
Yeah, conceded 10 off that, but that important wicket would get them up and about the Nepalese side. Very happy with that. Still, short to face the first of Lamashane.
Comes in, the leg spinner, well flighted delivery, driven straight down the ground. Fielder at long off. Gets there before it hits the rope for a couple more too short. Nice bouncing technique from Lamashane. So short is definitely the danger man now. He's well set, well into the 20s. Sweeping. And sweeping all the way to the rope. Excellent shot. So his placement there was perfect. He didn't hit it all that hard. His timing exquisite.
And now that he has sort of got a bit more of a judge on just how quickly those balls are coming in, he's probably a little bit more settled, and you're right, he doesn't need to necessarily absolutely crack them. It can just be a little bit more of a placement where appropriate to do so. That one, as you said, very well done and easily beat the boundary line.
Shane tries again. Well flighted, forces the false shot. It bounces just wide of the fielder at a wideish mid-off, and long off comes up to do the fielding, but definitely a false stroke by Short. Bit of an exchange and a chat between batter and bowler. Looks friendly. But an interesting over. A boundary in it. Leg spinners always add something to the game. You always sense something could happen. The batsman's eyes light up when those big loopy leggies are tossed up.
Dickman yet to get off the mark. Be hoping to do so here.
He's bowled him! What a magnificent delivery. That was the wrong, and it was flighted. It was curving in, but instead of spinning away to the offside, it just kept going on. Clipped, I think, the top of the off stump, and Dickman goes for a duck, and Lamashane, who's looked really good in his first few balls, despite going for one beautifully swept boundary to Short, he was dangerous. He's an experienced international cricketer, and that is a magnificent delivery. And the strike are being reeled back a little bit.
Yeah, not happy Dickman at all. Really disappointed in that, going for a duck off just 3 balls. Just clipped the top of the wickets, as you said, knocked the bails off. In will come another left-hander. There is almost half the team. 5 left-handers in the NT side tonight, Rob. Connor Carroll coming in at second drop.
You never have enough lefties, Will.
नेपाल टॉप को विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टॉप सब ठीकठाक
हजुर दाइ आकाशमा जाने हो कि पातालमा कोरिया दाइ
काम पाइस
काम पाए नि बा
It's supposed to be a friendly tournament. So with Connor Carroll coming in, Lamashane's going to go around the wicket. Another lefty, as you mentioned. That was a magnificent delivery. A perfect wrong-un that Shane Warne would have been proud of.
Let's see if he can do it again.
Sandeep Lamashane bowls. Didn't turn that much at all. Pretty much went straight on with the arm. And worked away straight off the mark, Connor Carroll, with a single. So he won't get a duck. And the total up to 2 for 54.
One ball left to come in. Sandeep Lamashane's first over, which has been really impressive. Just the one boundary, but getting Dickman in a vulnerable position, sending him back without scoring a run or troubling the scorers.
Wouldn't he love this wicket? He's been in his ear, maybe just softening him up a little bit. Comes in, bowls to Short, flights it. And again, the wrong-un. Turning away from the left-handed batsman. It was just a little short, though, giving Short, no pun intended, time to just rock back and punch it out down the offside for a single. 2 for 55. Excellent first over. 1 for 9, Lamashane.
Panchakanya
Looks like it'll be airy again, bowling from the southern end.
He's got Short on strike. It's punched into the offside. Slight misfield by Rupesh. It should only be 1 run, though. He's got a fielder backing up coming in from the boundary there in Kushal Malla. So just 1 run conceded from the first ball from Airy, who's the second-ranked player, according to the ICC, in T20 internationals. It's an all-rounder. Carroll on strike. The new batsman. Quicker ball, short. Dot. Races through his overs, gives the batsman really no time to get settled. Around the wicket once again. Flighted this time, full toss. Punched forward of square leg. Might beat the two diving fielders. It didn't. Brilliant bit of fielding. Able to swat it backwards. It was excellently placed. But the fieldsman coming around from mid-wicket, diving full length, was able to get to it first. And a couple more runs only to Carroll. Save two. This time it's the back cut to the fielder at a very short third man, almost a deep gully. Always tough as a batsman, and the bowler's hustling through. Nicely flighted. Again a dot ball. Nice bit of curve on that ball.
Yeah, we're a bit more settled. Just the 3 conceded off this over. Conceded 9 in his first.
Can he finish off the 6th over with another dot? It's outside the off stump. Straight to the fieldsman on the deep point boundary. So an excellent over, just 4 from it. The most economical over so far in the NT strike innings. They were sent into bat by Nepal. Jacob Dickman, no score.
Bit of a shaky start for the Nepalese side. A lot of sundries in that first over. Went for 19. Since then, they've really steadied out, and sort of talk about the batsmen needing.
Hotel booking अब ई सेवा
Seemed pretty excited to be here when you interviewed him pre-match, Will?
Yeah, very excited to be here. The whole side, just their eyes sort of lit up.
He's held that one back as Short went to reverse sweep. So I'm not sure whether there's a bit of gamesmanship in there or what happened, but potentially there was. Didn't go through with the delivery. Dead ball called. So Rohit tries again, just 1 or 2 paces. And it's enough just to put Short off his game a little bit. All he can do is just push it into the covers. Good steady bowling at the moment by the Nepalese. That's slightly wider, and Short can't take full advantage. Excellent fielding at cover. On the circle. It was well timed, but the placement wasn't there.
That was Dipendra Singh Ari. Hoping we're getting the pronunciations right, but that's your man, Rob. Very well in the field as well.
Rohit down the leg side. It should be a wide. It is called. They're going to take the run as well. Slight misfield won't matter, so a couple there to the total. Will be a wide. Carroll will come on strike.
Yes, the entire Nepalese side arrived sort of towards the back end of the Melbourne Renegades Melbourne Stars game and just lit up at the stars on the field there, as we are very excited to be here in Darwin.
Rohit. That's better. Back on track. Outside the off stump to Carroll. So a good start. So the slow bowlers making an impact. Lamashane's got a wicket. Ari. Now the reverse sweep's been attempted. Won't beat the field. Another single only.
Good over from the skipper. Just conceded the 4 runs so far. And again, they're just reducing that run rate now to a very reasonable 9.22.
Last ball of the over is driven. Should just be a single. Slightly wider the fielder out there at a wide long on, or long off. And it is just 1 run. So brilliant over by Rohit, the captain. Just 5 from it. So just 9 runs from the last 2 overs has been excellent by the Nepalese.
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड
Airy back at the crease. Excited to see what he can do.
Lights starting to take effect here at DXC Arena. Full toss, missed, and you can see the frustration by Short smashing his bat into the pitch. Full toss leg stump should have been dispatched over the roof of NT Cricket's headquarters. There he gets away with it with a dot ball. Good pressure coming from Nepal. Flights this one, outside off stump. Cut a back point to the fielder on the boundary. And that's just a single. So the dots and ones are starting to mount. Paul getting back into the game.
Yeah, Airy conceded 9 off his first, just 4 off his second, and just the 1 so far. 2 balls into his third over.
Continues around the wicket. Lofted ball by Carroll over the fieldsman at mid-wicket. Beautifully struck. And a 6 to Connor Carroll. And the economy of Airy has had some damage done to it with a short ball. Carroll timing it sweetly.
Starting to bring up some of those big hits as well. That's exactly what the fans, and judging by the waving of those flags, fans of both sides have come to see, the excitement of T20 cricket.
And he throws in a quicker ball, very, very short, has to do the fielding himself, misses it, won't concede an extra run though. So Carroll into double figures. Tick under 10 runs and over now. Airy a couple to go in his third over. Once again, quicker delivery, punch down towards long on. They'll be happy with the singles. Knowing the power, what he do. Well contained on that occasion. Last ball of the third over for Airy. Last ball of the 8th over of the innings. Carroll back on strike. Airy short, missed through to the keeper. No touch on it. Work by Airy. His third over and no wicket for 22, and after 8 it's 2 for 73.
Airy tightening up there again, just conceding 9 off the over, of course.
Magnificently Darcy Short, and brings up a boundary with a beautifully timed stroke.
Those two have been having a bit of banter between them so far tonight, Rob.
Yeah, he'll enjoy that one. So the reverse shot over cover. So rather than a traditional cover drive or back foot punch, he just reversed the bat and lofted it to the boundary for 4. That one struck on the foot. Going down the leg side, I think it might be a leg bite. It's going to be 4 runs, or did he get bat on it as well? We'll wait on the umpire. It doesn't matter. It'll be 4 more to the total. It's going to be signalled as 4. So 4 more runs there to Northern Territory strike and 4 more to Darcy Short. Total up to 81 in the 9th over.
Short closing in on 50. A little bit more to go yet. We don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, Rob.
Good start to this over for NT strike. Short headed towards a half century. Namashane's first over was good, went for just 9, and the wicket of the match so far with an excellent wrong-un to dismiss Jacob Dickman. Short has his measure at the moment. You have a third boundary in a row. Short outside the off stump. Hammered through and all the way to the boundary again. The fielder in the covers missed it. Well timed, well placed. 4 more to Short. He's up to 47. And the total rattles along to 2 for 85. 3 boundaries in a row.
Yeah, that fielder in there was the captain, Rod Kumar Wardell. Did a little bit of Some good fielding out just early, but of course let that one through. Not too happy with it. That's cricket though.
Sandeep Lamashane got this time. That's a better delivery. Again, the power of short, though, will find yet another boundary. He seemed to hit that. There was almost two sounds there as though he hit the pad as the batters went through. He didn't seem to hit it as cleanly as we know he can. It doesn't matter. 4-4-4-4. First 4 balls of the 9th over. Short brings up his 50 off 33, Will.
Yeah, he does. That takes him over the 50 mark. Now on 51. Starting to find his stride. He did look very nervous early on in the innings. I think just as the Nepalese were sort of finding their feet as well, but definitely found his strides, and he'd be very happy with 16 off the over so far. Really keep the trend going.
Reverse sweeping and bowled him. That's a great comeback by Lamashane. Short can't believe it. Punches his bat, smiles and a lovely handshake. That's what cricket's all about. Great banter, great byplay, but in the end, they acknowledge a good contest. Short goes for 51. Lamashane gets his second wicket, and after conceding 4 boundaries off the first 4 balls, attempting the reverse sweep, Lamashane gets his man and a vital 3rd wicket for Nepal.
Lamashane changing it up a little bit as well. Just have a look at it here. A little bit of banter there, and Lamashane was one of those cricketers I saw as they were walking in who was just very excited, his eyes lit up. Just happy to be here playing cricket. You can tell he absolutely loves it every time he's out on the field. Looks like Darcy Short might be one of his idols as well.
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड
or the Hobart Hurricanes, as they're known. Well, I should say captain's Tasmania, but he plays for the Sydney Sixers. But because Hobart Hurricanes are part of this tournament, he can't play for them because of his contract with Sydney. So, as still allowed to play in the tournament, but comes in as an import. Good news for NT Strike. What's he got for Lamashane? Last ball of the over. He works it through mid-wicket, and he's immediately off the mark. That ends the 9th over. 3 for 90, Silk 1, Carroll 13. We saw the demise in that over of Short, who made a half century, 51 off 34.
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै
पिउने पानी भण्डारणको लागि सबैभन्दा उपयुक्त स्टेनलेस स्टिल वाटर ट्याङ्क पञ्चकन्या एसएस ट्याङ्क 10 वर्षदेखि गुणस्तरीय सेवामा समर्पित लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै
Darcy Short in that over.
And you saw the figure, which has bumped up this total of 14 extras, which hasn't really helped. You take those away, and it's a really competitive effort. It's still not too bad. As you can see, exactly 10 runs and over through 9 overs at 3 for 90. If they can get Silk early, they'd really like their chances of trying to keep NT Strike under 200. New bowler, Jha. Gulshan Kumar Jha. Back to pace after a stint of slow bowling. From the southern end, right arm over the wicket, outside off stump. Driving on the up, straight to the field. Good dot ball for Nepal.
Skipper, Rohit, again doing some good fielding there. Ball came straight to him. He's had 1 over bowling so far, but he's definitely getting involved.
If the wicket-keeper, bottom of screen, directing traffic, supporting his captain. Making a few suggestions to the field. Silk is working that from outside the off stump. through mid-wicket. They've got one. This is excellent running. They come back for the second. It will make it pretty comfortably. Throw was a bit wide. Silk was always going to make it, though. Just placed it beautifully into the mid-wicket region. It stopped inside the circle. The fielder had to come in from the boundary. Beautifully placed. Silk retains the strike.
Great fielding there. Had to be good running between the wickets as well, and it was. As you said, Silk was always making that, but had to be on his bike. 3 from 3, Silk.
Shan, full toss. Did make the most of it. Oh, misfield. Broke through the hands of the fielder at mid-off and all the way to the rope. Costly miss by Nepal. Silk gets a boundary. Captain, bowler, and the rest of the team won't be happy. And in fact, it was the captain that let it through. So he's not had a good night in the field. He dropped a catch, which turned out to be a no ball. He's had a couple of misfields, and that is costly. Fortunately, not quite leading from the front at the moment. Total up to 3 for 96. Bit of a delay as Nepal tries to set their field. Player at short fine leg. Gulshan Jar charges in wide. Another extra to the total. To about 15, I think, now. It's having an impact.
As you said, that'd sort of bring them back down to 81. Their run rate at the moment, 10.
Silk looking hungry for runs. Gets plenty on that. Backward of point, down to the rope for 4. Beat the fielder inside the circle. Beat the fielder at deep point. And another boundary brings up the 100 inside the 10th over for the strike. Silk looking dangerous. He's up to 11. The over becoming expensive.
And that takes NT Strike over the 100-run mark, just before the halfway point of their innings.
So the off stump, punched into the offside region. Player comes in off the rope. Bounce return, just the 1 run. Carroll hasn't had strike for a while. Silk's been controlling that. He's up to 12. 12 off 6. Pretty good going. Last ball, and we're up to the halfway mark of this innings, with the strike scoring it over 10 runs and over. Darcy Short's been the highlight so far, 51 off 34. Weatherall got 11. Dickman a duck. Gulshan Jar tucks up Carroll. Gets 1. Might think about 2, but the fielders were back onto it pretty quickly, including the bowler himself, who ran away to square leg. So 10 overs down here after winning the toss and sending NT Strike into bat, Nepal. The NT Strike are 3 for 103. Silk 12, Carroll 14.
And you mentioned that the
Making record is not that easy.
field as well by the looks of it so far. Here comes Alarm. Good strike out there from Carroll. They'll do some heavy running there and make it 2. It's the first ball of the 10th over. Alarm's ball again, taken relatively easy there. Again, they'll push for another 2, will they? Just easing into it, but would want to tighten up on 2 runs per ball, you'd think, Rob. Through to the keeper, keeping him on their toes.
Definitely looks like the slow bowlers are the way to go tonight. The quicker bowlers have been more expensive, albeit Labuschagne going for 17. He's pretty over, but he's got a couple of wickets.
And clean ball again. Dangerous when they're striking. Rob Alarm on just his 4th ball. Didn't expect that one to come through at all. Seemed a little bit like he was just trying to ease into it, and bang! Struck while the arm was hot. Struck while their guard was down. Connor Carroll goes for 18 off 17 balls, and NT strike suddenly at 107 for 4.
Aksha Aneg, Energy 8. Energy भनेकै Red Bull.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला. यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह.
Unexpected wicket coming from Alarm. Andrews will join Silk at the crease.
Always the best way in T20 cricket to just drag the scoring rate back is to take wickets. They've done it again. And Andrews, probably better known for his bowling, can absolutely bat as well, coming at 6. You've got to know how to handle the willow.
Keeping them on their toes.
Bringing the crowd into the game, Will. It's exciting.
One left in his first over for Alarm. And just an easy block. Get through to the 12th over. NT striker, 4 for 107.
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT पञ्चकन्या स्टिल.
Rohit Kumar Wardell. Just the one over tonight. 5 went through off him. He'll be hoping to replicate that again here in the 12th over. One pushed out, well fielded. Just the one off that one. Squeeze, another one through. And NT Strike have really dropped off here. It seemed like a little while ago that they crossed over that triple figure mark. Now just still sitting at 109. Silk goes bang, drives that one into the outfield. But again, they can't really seem to get more than a couple of runs at a time these last couple of overs. Singles only the first 3 balls of this 12th over.
Rohit, like the skipper, like the green tinge to the pitch, but it's the slowies that are doing the damage.
I'm now doing work in the field. Bring it back again, keeping them. Just one run there.
It's good energy too. They're charging in from the boundary. They're running back into position. Sense an opportunity. Keeper directing traffic.
So 5 singles off this over so far. You mentioned that crowd, Rob. It's definitely behind the Nepalese team and sustaining them at the moment. They've been really tight these last couple of overs, and when they haven't, a wicket will come. That one slips through the keeper's gloves. He lost sight of it for a second there. Getting to backstop position there, Samdeep Lamashane. And then pushing it back again. Just the one there. So 6 off the over. NT Strike. 413. 12 overs gone.
Energy.
Andrews getting back to ball there. Again, just pushing through for a single only, and they've really dropped the run rate down. Alarm on for his second over of the innings.
This is the key now, isn't it? Silk is the key.
Love a wicket here, wouldn't he?
Little bump ball. They got excited.
Into the turf, and Alarm ready to get him if he was out of his crease. Wasn't to be. Strike there.
Oh, that's disappointing. Misfield out there at the deep cover point boundary, and they got back for 2. Should only have been 1. It was straight to the field. It was well timed by Silk, so fair bit of force in the shot, but really at this level, got to stop that, and they've allowed Silk to get back on strike.
In comes Alarm again. Drive will just be pushed out and then bring it back. They can't seem to break through for another boundary. They haven't hit a boundary since that 10th over, so almost 4 overs now. Rob?
Next player in is a local Matt Hammond, who plays for the Southern Districts Club here in Darwin. Very well-credentialed player, but you just sense they're a bit wary of not losing a clump of wickets here. Still lots of overs in hand. Boy, they're running well between the wickets, though. Well placed, and they knew straight away, and they took off and got 2 pretty comfortably.
Last ball of The over for alarm. This one not as tight. Still yet to concede a boundary. And that one will go through for a dot ball. 4 for 119 after 13. 119 after 13 overs here at DXC Arena.
You never lose.
Doing the fielding off his own bowling work. Again, good running between the wickets. They've been really, really hot on that tonight. And T-Strike haven't really gone for anything they shouldn't have yet.
Larry's not giving them much. He's just darting them in. That was a really quick ball for a spinner.
Oh, clean bowled again. His first of the night, airy, but this Nepalese outfit, they're proving a handful with ball in hand, aren't they? And it's Silk who goes 19 off 14. Matt Hammond will come in. Can he change the pace of the game? Tom Andrews, as we said, yet to really get off the mark, just 6 runs off 9 balls. And suddenly we were talking 200 runs. I think earlier we were talking possibly even closer to 400, Rob Cross. I don't think that's likely now, but that 200 as well, potentially looking like it's...
Been a magnificent over.
That one. A little bit costly earlier on, although looking back now, not so much so. He's been a problem. Be very happy to break through with a wicket in this over. Try and keep it tight for this last ball now. And that one's beaten the keeper, and that you'd think is going to go through for 4. It's wide as well.
Yeah, 4 wides. What a disappointing way to finish. He almost was rushing a bit too much. So keen to get through the over, was he? Just lost that bit of control and undoes a bit of the good work of the over so far. Taken a wicket, had a dot, couple of ones. has conceded a boundary, which is a little bit lucky from the first ball that Hammond faced. But to finish with 5 wides and have one more ball to bowl is unfortunate. It's been a good spell.
Just a little delay as the ball went through, not over beyond the rope, but beyond the light screen as well. This is the last ball of Airy's 4th over. Just popped it up a little bit, well fielded. Oh, that had to be quick there. Is that going to be out? Umpire says no. They're keeping them on their toes though, aren't they? NT strike 5 for 130 off 14 overs. And that run rate has been brought well back into tow by the Nepalese team.
So Nepal winning the toss, electing to bowl. Looks the right decision at the moment. They're going at under 10 and over. 6 overs remaining.
And 21 extras as well, which means they could be, in theory, on 109. That one's just sneaked up. Again, had to be tight between the wickets. Just snuck through for one there. Andrews maybe not as confident as he first thought. Hammond back on strike. He seems like he's burst out of the blocks. That fair on the first 4 on his first ball. Yet to add much more since then. Straight back to the bowler from Hammond. And Shahab Alam in now. This is his 3rd over.
The length they're bowling is absolutely fantastic. Right up in the block hole. Not too many short balls, and the strike batsmen are having trouble digging it out and working it away. They need to try and change the length a little bit.
Alarm comes again. That one has beaten all the fielders. That'll go through for another boundary. Andrews slowly starting to build some momentum in his game. Straight down past the bowler. Won't quite make the boundary line. Squeeze through for another 2 though. Cracks that one again. Over the top of the fielders' heads and through for another boundary line, the 2nd of the over. And this one may be a little bit more costly than they've been the last 5 overs or so. Its previous 2 overs, Alarm 6 and 4. One's already reached double figures. How is that wicket in the last over there? From Airy. the 16th over. It'll be the captain again with ball in hand. This will be his third over coming up. Oh, first ball of the over, and he's claimed a wicket. It might be that danger man. It is Matt Hammond, the local boy. Gone. Another clean bowl, Rob Cross.
Yeah, great wicket again. Once more, the full delivery and the batsman hitting over the top of it. Hammond goes. And this bowling performance has been absolutely fantastic. Short early on, dominating. We look set for a huge NT strike score, but once the slow bowlers started coming on, slightly quicker through the air, tossing up the odd one, but their length has been the key. And that was a delicious delivery. It was tossed up a little bit more, hitting all over the top of it was Hammond. And another big wicket. Again, slowing down the scoring rate of the NT strike.
Directing some fielders. Fidel McMahon coming in. He's off and away. Just pushed through for a single to start his innings.
Pretty good fielding there by Kushal at the on the long on boundary. He got a bit of an awkward bounce. It scooted off the turf, which I think you pointed out earlier can get a bit slippery, and almost had to take it Australian rule style over his head.
McMahon had to duck there to get out of the way of the ball, but again they squeezed through for just another single.
We'll bring the score to you shortly.
Getting close to that 150 run mark as we get towards the 17th over here. Game 5, top end series. That one's beaten one. In the outfield, Airy, he picks it up and gets it back.
Good over by Rohit. He's conceded just 14 runs into his third over.
Oh, a little bit of a misfield there. Not too costly. Again, just the one run off that one.
Panchakanya bathware. Luxury made affordable.
Two big wickets, Dickman and Short. And he comes again, all well hit. One. Andrew's needing to be careful there. A little bit too cute. NT strike, 6 for 148, approaching that 150 mark. 16 overs and 2 balls in. Reverse sweep. Keeping it very tight there. Andrews not able to squeeze one. And there they finally get through again. Just another single. Nepalese fielding's been very good these last 5 or 10 overs, Rob. And that run rate has been taken well down.
Absolutely, in the 17th over. Haven't quite cracked 150 yet. Have now.
NT strike, 6 for 149 after 17 overs.
Hotel booking अब ई सेवाबाटै 2000 plus hotels all across
More than about 180. Down in the lower reaches of the batting order.
Good there. Throw it again.